So I found this drawing I did over 2 years ago, and it definitely looks like something I drew, but also not really, given just how much my art style has changed. Which got me thinking, have I improved? And what does it mean for an artist to improve? Consider this a bit of a rambly video and don't take it too seriously. This isn't some deep philosophical discussion on what it means to be an artist and all that jazz. This is just my thoughts. On a surface level, yes, I think I've improved. Obviously, the further back you go, the more evident this is. Like, far more evident. I think when people post their art on social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok, as a viewer, it's easy to assume that what we're seeing is an artist's entire catalogue, and thus their improvement comes off as fairly streamlined and linear, which is even more obvious if an artist focuses on a specific style or medium, such as oil paintings of furries, I don't know. But here's a little secret. Odds are they're probably not uploading all their art, like, at all. Speaking from experience, if you took everything that I've ever drawn or made, then my improvement looks extremely clunky and at times just non-existent. For every one piece of work I put up online, there's probably about 20 drawings, doodles, sketches, models, designs, and just stuff that has never and will never see the light of day. That's why I really like seeing whips. That's why I really like seeing work in progress pieces and speed paints, because I think it's pretty nice to know that even the most perfect piece of art had a wonky, please guys trust the process phase. To sort of move away from this subtopic a bit, God forbid you as an artist post something that is maybe more experimental or isn't as quote unquote good as your previous work, because it doesn't matter how gently you open the comment section, all you will be met with is, oh, so art regression is regression. Oh, did you get
You suck!
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
The whole concept of art regression is stupid. I'm sorry, but let's just think. On one hand, let's just say the art hasn't actually gotten worse, but maybe the artist is drawing in a different style, experimenting, or simply implementing elements into their art that you don't find appealing, which is fine. You're not a bad person for not liking the art, but slapping the label of art regression onto said artist is also kind of dumb. On the other hand, let's say that the art is worse from an objective point of view, in terms of things like anatomy, composition, color theory, etc, etc. So, who cares? Now, not that I knew any of them personally, but I don't think Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael were making masterpieces every single time they picked up a fucking paintbrush. Odds are they're busy fighting crime, I don't know. The point is, I don't think art regression is a valid argument at all. Even if the artist's work is worse, it's not a big deal, and a handful of quote-unquote bad work isn't reflective of an artist's entire scope of improvement. I think as well, when artists post their art on a regular basis, there is this pressure to always have some sort of proof of improvement, and that each piece has to always be better than the last one. You know, going back to that whole linear improvement thingy. But, guys, I'm gonna be so real, I like some of my old art. I said some. This is something I think about a lot, and admittedly I need to get better at it myself, but I think artists on social media should feel like if they want to, they could repost some of their old art. It helps with posting regularly, and it allows artists to push out artworks that they're still proud of. I will say, if you want to improve on an objective level, then yeah, you are just going to have to lock in and study. But in that same breath, I think an artist themselves will understand and know whether or not they consider themselves professional or a hobbyist. Now, admittedly, my professional journey as an artist hasn't been very long currently, but in a push to make a career out of art, in one way or another, I do hold improvement to a really high regard, in the sense that when I look at my history of work, I can see where I need to improve. Now, obviously making a career out of art isn't just about the art itself, but also the business side of things, but that's a whole different discussion for another day. I suppose I'll leave it there. This was a short one and a bit rambly, because I'm busy. I've got uni, and I've decided that while in uni, remaking my first full 2D animation was going to be a good idea. When it comes to improving as an artist, I think it's important to think outside what you see an artist post, but take into account that all the work that goes into the improvement. And if an artist is making work that you don't like, that's fine, you don't have to engage with it. And yes, in objective senses, some art isn't as good as other art, but personal enjoyment for art is subjective, so it all just comes down to perspective. I tried to make an art joke. With all that said, thank you very much for watching. Socials are in the description. I mostly just repost stuff I find weird, absurd, and just comical on Twitter. So, admittedly, don't expect too much from me. And on my Instagram, I try to upload a new piece of art about 1 to 2 times a week. Again, uni, But with all that said, thank you for watching. Have a good day or night because time zones, and bye-bye.